Good morning, everyone. Welcome
morning.
to the Board of Commissioners meeting this morning. We welcome all who are in the boardroom on behalf of this board, and also those that are joining us virtual this morning. Appreciate the time and effort you of this morning to coming in, and obviously if you're driven in, you know what that means. It's pretty different out there this morning. Our chairman is enjoying Florida yet, which is, we're thinking about while we're sitting here at some point in time, but he won't be here, so I'll be filling in as vice chair. So we had the agenda on the screen and we've got one published, and I'll call the meeting to order. It's just a hair after 8 o'clock this morning, and I will do the prayer, and then we'll have our pledge of allegiance done by Commissioner Lutz, and then we'll proceed to a roll call, and then we'll get our meeting rolling. So those who'd like to join me in the prayer, please rise. Heavenly Father, we come to you once again this morning. We thank you for the many blessings you have given us, especially in your word, and renewed mercy and grace each day that you have provided. Pray the things we do this day are according to your will, and that if we fall short in any way, that through the precious blood of your Son, our sins will be forgiven. We ask this morning that you be with the board and with all those who are attending, that we make wise decisions that represent the interests of all of the residents of Tuscola County. We lift up our prayers also for all those in our hearts and minds that need your mercy and grace, whether spiritually, they're poor and spiritual, or or in health. We just ask to be with them. And this morning I'd like to raise unto you on behalf of everyone, Alicia, who's 911 Center, and I know that you've been with her as always, but we thank you for all you've done. We ask many blessings upon the Putman family and Gia and her recovery. Just sustain them. Very difficult times, but yet, Lord, we know that your mercy and grace is abundant. And at least without saying, all those in our hearts and minds that we know who are suffering in any way, we ask you to be with them as well. Once again, we ask you to be, we thank you for our country, the freedoms and the peace that we have. We thank you for those who protect and serve, and especially locals, whether it be whatever their function may be. We ask you to be with all in the county government this day, for we know that they sustain us in all the civil matters that you have placed them as well. We ask you to be with their children and families. And once again, Lord, we pray that you continue to be with us, and as we asked this earlier, that you guide us in all of our decisions this day. We ask all these blessings in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just on an afterthought on a prayer, I failed to include all the Amish families that were affected in the most recent month as well. But I know without saying that they're in our hearts and minds as well. All right, so we'll have our roll call.
Commissioner Barrios? Here. Commissioner Bardwell?
Here.
Commissioner Vaughn? Absent. Commissioner Lutz?
Here.
Commissioner Cook?
Here.
We have a quorum. You may proceed.
Thank you, and welcome back.
Thank you.
So is there anything to add to the agenda before we ask for adoption?
Yes, we'll need to add the one item that we discussed this morning. Is that number 7 of your business?
Yes. What will we call it?
Controller's office. Staffing?
Staffing. Yeah. We'll make that a placeholder under new business as number 7, controller office staffing. Is there anything else, the board or other? I'd like to add one that Commissioner Barrios and I have been involved in lately, and it's number 2 under old business. Between the two of us, we can update the board and those who are listening are here on the Amish progression on the bridge that we've been talking about for about 3 years. To give you a little update on that. So those are the 2 additions. Is there a motion to approve the agenda with those 2 additions?
I move to adopt the agenda as presented with those 2 additions.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Cook and support by Commissioner Luce to approve the agenda as adopted with the 2 additions. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Our agenda is adopted. Thank you for that. And moving on to the next item is action on previous meeting minutes, and we have a couple sets. The Board of Commissioners of the 22nd. We have the public hearing on the 22nd as well. Had the organizational meeting agenda and the special board meeting minutes are included in that. So is there any corrections or additions to those minutes, or is there a motion to approve?
Vice Chair, I move to appoint the December 22nd, 2025 regular meeting minutes, the December 22nd, 25 public hearing minutes, the December 22nd, 25 organizational meeting minutes, and the December 29th, 25 special board meeting minutes.
I'll support.
And with that, motion by Commissioner Cook, support by Commissioner Barris to move and adopt the December 22nd, 25 regular meeting minutes, the December 22nd, 25 public hearing minutes, the December 22nd, 25 organizational meeting minutes, and the December 29th, 25 special board meeting minutes. All those inclusive. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All the meeting minutes that have been presented have been approved and go on file. This is the area of our meeting that we have brief public comment. I believe it's still 3 minutes. And it can be on any agenda item that we have. We'll have a full public comment at the end, which is less restrictive than that. But would anyone like to comment on any item on the agenda before we begin the agenda? Anyone? Hearing, oh, yes. Go ahead.
Just want to talk, Russell Spears, Ellington Township Supervisor. I was kind of trying to see if there was any of the road commission stuff, but just wanted to let this board know, Ellington Township sent the road commission 3 work requests the other day after our meeting. Maybe I sent an email to Tom, hopefully maybe he forwarded that to you. But we put in a work request requesting flashing stop sign, Hertz Corner in Deckerville. We have a work request for flashing stop ahead sign, Hertz Corner in Deckerville Road. We have a work request for rumble strips as well. So again, Ellington Township's more than willing to financially contribute to all these or whatever. I did think on the way over here, that work request is really easy to fill out. Maybe I should just fill one out to put a stop sign on Deckerville Road as well. That's, a little more invasive to our day-to-day stuff, but when I think about it, the road commission can ignore, which I can remind them, and if they continue to ignore it, shows they're not doing their job, or they can deny it. And if they deny it, we will have a documentation of why things are denied. Or they can send Ellington Township an agreement, and then the Ellington board can decide whether we want to take action on that or not. One thing I failed to mention Monday is back in May 8th of 2025, so before any of this, we requested stop signs on Akron Road and a couple crossroads to Akron Road that had yield signs. And we just, knowing Akron Road's is our second busiest local road, we'd say, hey, it's time to update that. So I put in a work request in May last year. And what I received back from the road commission was they were willing to do it. The work is now done. And that did not come to a cost at the township. I don't remember how they coded it, but what they let me know was, it was covered by them anyway. So again, Ellington is willing to fund this stuff, but the fact that these other roads are primary roads, and I don't know what that entails as far as what the township usually does versus what happens at the county level. I do want to say a couple positive things. The township and myself personally, as far as working with the road commission, like our local D Ford Garage, has been great. Julie lives in Ellington Township, so her and I have communicated on things over the years, and communication and in working through things with her has been good. So I am hopeful that can continue, and we can, as we work through, some tough things that need to be said, tough actions. But again, hoping people don't take it personal. And again, I would urge this board, to start pursuing some action to the road commissioning board. And again, that some of that stuff seems silly, but it will add clarity and again, a benefit to us all moving forward. Thank you.
Chair, that is 3 minutes.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Russ, for the update. And I do have those copies. I do not have them on the county site. And I don't have access to my other email. So I will send them to the rest of the world. I'll send them to Erica, and then Erica can distribute them. Just out of the process of this, when you submit those 3 apps, did you submit them to the road commission or no? Oh, you did. And normally, it sounds like with the last time with the Akron Road yield signs, was it about a year how long was it before?
It was months.
Months? Okay.
At that time, it wasn't a priority for Ellington
Yeah.
Township. I assume this is a lower work request from, lower priority for the road commission as well. And we had asphalt going in, so I didn't know timing and all that. We were patient, but eventually I had to ping them and then.
Okay. I just wasn't familiar. I don't know if anyone here is familiar with the process that you were describing. I just wondered how it worked. Before we move on, Jim, I know this is public comment, but that sparked my interest to rescan the agenda. And there is nothing on the road commissioner board here this morning. Is that designed that way?
I thought there was.
There
The
is,
chairman and I have had several discussions. I just wasn't sure.
there is the
Purchase.
purchase.
It's under new business 2 and 3.
The purchase.
Oh, the safety equipment.
Yep.
All right. Got it. All right. Thank you for that clarity. I couldn't understand how it got by without some discussion. All right. Thank you for a few moments of just clarity there. Any other public comment on the agenda items this morning? Yes.
I don't have a whole lot to say. I'm Laura Boyke from Ellington Township. I'm on the board trustee on Ellington Township Board. There's not much more I could say that hasn't already been said, but I'd just like to make the comment that about 5 years ago, I met the Putman family. And from the beginning, they always said we are family. And I have been part of that. I have been part of that godly, loving, caring family. This family has been put through so much pain with this crash that I'm asking this board to just do the right thing. Please just put up the signs at these 6 corners so another family doesn't have to go through what they have. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Is there anyone else who'd like to address the board? Seeing there's none virtually, correct, Ian? Seeing or hearing none, let the record show that we offered brief public comment. We appreciate the comments that we did receive, and adding clarity to a couple situations. Moving forward, the next item is the consent agenda, and we have
Chairman, I move to the consent agenda minutes and the consent agenda items for the January 12th, 2026 committee of the whole meeting be adopted.
Support.
Doesn't matter.
Moved by Commissioner Lutz and supported by, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter.
Both of us. I think you beat me, actually.
All right, supported by Commissioner Barrios, that the consent agenda minutes and consent agenda items for the January 12th, 2026 committee of the whole meeting be adopted. As the motion is set forward. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, consent agenda is approved. Thank you, everyone, for that. Moving on to new business. Our first item is the family planning fee increase for the transdermal contraceptive patches. Amanda, health officer.
Good morning, members and members of the board. I'm just here to ask you guys, our contraceptive patches have increased to $30. They're currently at $25, and I'm asking for a $5 increase. This is the cost of the actual patch. There is no increase to profit to the health department.
Any discussion?
I move to approve the personnel policy changes effective January 1st, 2026 per the recommendation from Amanda Erdman, Health Officer.
I have a question about that.
Is this personnel?
Are
That
we-
says
are
person,
we-
That's-
that's
I
not
don't think
Are we
that's
on
the
purpose?
right,
Yeah.
I don't think it's personnel policy. I think that was an error on our part.
right.
Oh, gee.
It
Okay.
would be
The fee
The
schedule.
fee,
family planning fee increase.
So we're in the, also, a procedural matter, clerk, you may want to concur or not. We're in the middle of creating a motion. We're going into discussion. So if we had support or no support, if there's no support, we can go wait and then we'll try it again. But if there is support, then we go to discussion. How would you like to handle it? You can restate the motion,
right.
basically, and then see if there's support.
So what do you,
Was it
Or
supported?
withdraw it.
no, it
It
wasn't
was not
supported.
So it's either, do you want to withdraw it or just let it
I'll
die?
just withdraw it.
Okay.
If you can tell me what it is, what'd you say again? Move to approve.
The family planning fee increase for transdermal contraceptive patches. It's the title. It's the number one title.
Glad you
All
made
right.
that motion.
Move to approve the family planning fee increase for transdermal contraceptive patches effective January 1st, 2026 per the recommendation from Amanda Ertman, Health Officer.
I'll support that.
All right, moved by Commissioner Cook, supported by Commissioner Lutz. To approve the family planning fee increase for transdermal contraceptive patches. Further recommendation from Amanda Ertman, Health Officer. Was that the motion?
Yeah,
Pretty close.
you just didn't do the date, January 1st,
Oh.
but that's fine.
Can we add that? Effective January, that's important.
Yeah.
We'll add that to my motion. My reading of the motion, since we're crafting it as we fly. And when it's completed, clerk, would you read it back to us?
Yes, I got it all.
Put you on the spot.
Move to improve the family planning transdermal contraceptive patches effective January 1st is what I received.
All right.
Sir.
Sound correct, everyone?
Yeah.
All right, that is the motion. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion's approved. Okay. Fee increase is approved. Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you.
Moving on to number 2, Equiture contract and invoice with Anderson Emergency Services Coordinator, 911 Dispatch Director. Provide a copy of the 10-year contract, the equipment update, renewal, matter to be,
Those were on the consent agenda, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, I got
got
new
it.
business.
Wrong
Yeah.
page.
You got to go to number 2.
I was.
He was on
I
consent.
flipped.
Yeah.
Sorry. Safety equipment purchase for 6 dangerous intersections. Erica Dibble, Control Administrator.
Per the recommendation of the board from the committee of the whole, I was able to take the Putnam quote, and the only change that I have to the quote that they provided was removing sales tax, because we're a government entity. So if you would like me to proceed, then once we have approval, I will work with them in getting all their contact information for these entities. We do have a quote number, and there is an expiration date on the one quote, but we are well within the timeline. And then we would move forward at a later date, once we receive the equipment, to determine how it would be installed at your direction. If you would like to request the road commission to install it, or to seek an outside party.
Chair, I move to approve the purchase of 24 removable traffic rumble strips from stoppainting.com, quote QN 367800 in the amount of $20,851.12 to be paid from the Capital Improvement Fund 483, which will be subject to subsequent determination of cost responsibility and reimbursement. Also, all budget amendments necessary are authorized.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner Cook, supported by Commissioner Barrios. To approve the purchase of 24 removable traffic rumble strips from the Stop Painting Tom, quote number QN 367800 in the amount of $20,851.12 to be paid from the Capital Improvement Fund 483, which will be subject to subsequent determination of cost responsibility and reimbursement. Also, all budget amendments necessary are authorized. That is the motion as provided. Any further discussion? Just a quick question. Those are battery operated? Is that, or were they solar?
That's just the
rumble
wrong.
strip.
Oh, yeah,
There's
all
a
right.
second
There's
motion.
a second
Yeah,
motion.
there's second motion. for that.
Save my second request. There's the, rumble strips are down. All right, that is the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Now the second motion.
Mr. Vice Chair, move to approve the purchase of 12 remote battery solar assistant flashing kits from the traffic safety store for a total of $1,682.93 to be paid from the Capital Improvement Fund 483, which will be subject to subsequent determination of cost responsibility and reimbursement. Also, all budget adjustments necessary are authorized.
I support.
Moved by Commissioner Lewis, supported by Commissioner Barrios, to approve the purchase of 12 remote battery solar assist flasher kits from the traffic safety store for a total of $1,682.93 to be paid from the Capital Improvement Fund 483, which will be subject to subsequent determination of cost responsibility and reimbursement. Also, all budget amendments necessary to be authorized. Any further discussion? All right, I'll go back to it's battery, but are they, how do you recharge those? Who recharges those?
Your solar.
Solar battery? Did I miss that?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're independent. All right. Also, I just wanted to suggest, related to both of these motions, that the road commission be given first right of refusal for installation.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I think that's on the table, but
I'd like to have a motion drafted to give them first opportunity to install them. But I also, Commissioner Lutz, found traffic management, which that's what they do for a living. And I've got a phone number if we want to put that in the motion, or I'll give it to Erica afterwards. But I would set a definite timeline to have the road commission answer us back, because I'm sure traffic management as a company has deadlines and projects going to. So I don't know who wants to draft the motion. I kind of work together and do that.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to wait till it comes and then we decide to have a motion and all this other stuff, but weeks could pass.
I definitely think you have to have a timeline,
Yeah,
definitely.
Good.
In order to have anything installed on the road, you have to do a work permit. So we too have to fill out a work permit. And that, they'll make a determination if they pursue it or not.
Let's continue this discussion after this vote.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. I sort of segued into something else and opened up some other issues. So everyone clear on the motion? If they are, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion's approved. Now let's go back to the discussion. Were you referring to this meeting or a future meeting for the,
right now.
okay. And then,
I guess I'll make the motion to submit a work permit, is that what you call it?
Work order.
A work order to the road commission for the installation of the rumble strips and the solar flashing lights on the 6 intersections we've talked about for a long time. I don't know if you want to put that in there.
in your timeline would,
And if they want to do the installation, let us know within 24 hours. And if not, I don't know if you want, should I put the other company in there? I would,
I'm still typing what you just said.
Oh, sorry.
So hold please. Move to approve submitting work order to the road commission regarding installation of the 12 solar flashing stop signs.
They got flashing
And-
kits.
Pardon me?
They got flashing kits in the motion here, but it don't matter.
Flashing kits. 4 stop signs. And 24 sets of rumble strips purchased by Tuscola County.
Mhm.
Okay, then the next sentence is,
About a 24-hour.
is that,
is that a separate
that's
motion?
reasonable? isn't it?
Or is that a separate motion or the same
No,
motion?
same motion.
Okay.
could I just discuss that for a moment?
Sure can.
So the 24-hour, whatever the time period, would start at what point?
When they
When
receive
they
the work
receive-
permit.
The work order? And we,
Because I'd like to know by the time it came here, who's going to install it. But I'm just one commissioner, so I'll just throw
well,
that
I
out.
was just following through to figure out, just to see if we were clear, and we would know when they received it. I mean, that's not an issue. The email it or whatever, and that's the date you assume. That's what you'd use for the
Yeah.
launch date. Okay,
That's
I'm
mine.
just looking at a process.
And who's submitting this permit or the work order?
That's what I was gonna ask. Nancy, do you know how that works?
I have not done one,
Okay.
but I can find out how to do it.
Okay. There we go. He said he'd help, so
Okay.
thank you.
I'm confused there, only in the sense that I would suggest it be the county board initiates it. It's our motion.
Can I add some clarity to that?
Please come up to the mic if you would.
Yeah. So the form is the road commission's form, so the county would use the same as the townships. So I would get with Nancy, I think the form, yep, it's good that it comes from the county. I'll just get with Nancy and show her how I fill it out in the past, and it's quick and easy, and I email it to multiple people at the road commission, and then at some period I get a response from them.
Some period. Can you clarify?
Well, it got sent at, I don't know, about 9 o'clock Tuesday night. I have not heard a response to these requests yet, but if they're having a meeting this morning, maybe that's when they determine what are they gonna do with that request, so.
Is 24 hours a reasonable time if,
I just threw that out there.
One thing I know about a FOIA request and emails, if a FOIA request was emailed, there's 24 hours before it's considered that request was seen. So if it was gonna be emailed, I would say it's maybe more like 48 hours would have to be like a minimum time. Just, again, my dealings with other types of
Good with that?
requests.
Yeah, I'm fine with 48 hours.
48?
Well,
As long as this process starts now. So when we have the equipment, we know who's gonna put it in.
my question is, does it require their board to take action on any work order? And if so,
Call
They
a
would
special
have-
meeting.
but that would require an 18-hour
That's
notice.
fine.
So maybe, again, I don't want to kick the can down the road, but we need to not ask them to break the rules of the, so if we give them 24 hours and then another 24 hours, is that, I don't know if that's enough time to reasonably say they have to have a special board meeting to approve said
Let's do
request.
72 hours. They can't do it in 3 days.
I appreciate that. For the reasonable clause test.
What else?
I'm good to sit back down.
Yeah. Thank you for your input. I appreciate it. What do we got? so
Okay,
far? Oh, who am I looking at?
go ahead.
I have moved to approve a work order to the road commission for installation of 12 solar lights, 24 rumble strips, and accept the offer within 72 hours.
And accept an off, do we want to, are we accepting an offer or?
No,
are we-
the responsibility of installation. Does that sound better? Vice Chair?
That's that's the question you have.
Yeah.
Who's going to install it? So we need to give first right of refusal to the road commission based on their processes, and which is a work order. Give them a 72-hour time frame for a response.
I think it should say first right of refusal directly in the motion. That's my opinion.
Parentheses or something, right?
No, that's fine.
That's my opinion.
We can add that.
I'm not questioning.
Even put in there or alternative installation will be pursued by the county. Something like that.
We're just waiting for the motion to be crafted so we can hear it in its entirety.
Okay. Move to approve submit and a work order for Tuscola County Road Commission for installation of 12 solar flashing stop signs, 24 rumble strips at 6 intersections. The work order is to be resubmitted for response within 72 hours. If not, Tuscola County Board has the right to have installation be approved by who they wish. I don't know how you want to
I wouldn't say resubmitted, I would say respond,
respond.
I want to respond to.
Mhm.
Responsibility of the installation of 72 hours of right of refusal or alternate installation will be approved.
Or alternate installation will be
Determined.
Determined.
determined by the
Tuscola County Board of
Tuscola.
Commissioners.
Tuscola County Board of Commissioners.
We'll have you read that back.
Please.
again. When you're ready.
Move to approve and submit a work order to Tuscola County Road Commission for installation of 12 solar flashing stop signs and 24 rumble strips at the 6 intersections. The work order will be submitted with a response requested within 72 hours. The Tuscola County Road Commission is to have first right of refusal for the installation of said equipment. Responsibility responsibility, at right refusal and alternative installation to be determined by Tuscola County Board of Commissioners.
You good with that, Matt?
Can you,
very
can you
good
read
with
that? I know it was broken up. Can
Yeah, I got it in.
you read that straightforward? Just. I got the first right of refusal, and then I think we moved into alternative. How that was connected.
Okay. Move to submit a work order for Tuscola County Road Commission for installation of 12 solar flashing stop signs, 24 rumble strips at 6 intersections. The work order will be submitted with a response requested within 72 hours. The Tuscola County Road Commission is to have first right of refusal for installation of said equipment. The Tuscola County Board can seek alternate installation company if the Tuscola County Road Commission refuses installation.
Will, not can.
Will seek alternate
Okay.
yes.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, Matt?
That's fine.
No, there's another word in there. I need to have you read that again. It was a subjective word that, read the first part. Well, once you get past the rumble strips and just read it again.
Move to submit a work order to Tuscola County Road Commission for installation of 12 solar flashing stop signs, 24 rumble strips at the 6 intersections. The work order to be submitted with a response requested within 72 hours. The Tuscola County Road.
Okay, stop. It says requested. Would the board like to make that more definitive?
Yes.
Required.
Required.
72-hour
Requirement?
requirement within
Response.
72 hours.
Yeah.
Instead of request within 72 hours. Please. Thank you, Vice Chair.
So is there any question, or do you feel confident that when the 6 intersections are mentioned, does it need to be referred to a previous motion or document, or just 6 intersections is sufficient? I'm looking to very concise.
I was gonna ask, do we have to name them intersections in
Or
that
is there-
motion?
Or was there a previous?
Or refer to the recs.
It would be outlined in the permit or in the work order, right? So
Okay.
I don't know as if we really need to spell it out in the
Okay.
motion
That's
because
sufficient.
the work order, we're going to outline the 6 intersections that we're referring to.
You good with that, Vice Chair?
In my opinion, again,
that
not a commissioner,
explains-
just putting in my
that was-
2 cents.
I'll support that.
So it was moved by Commissioner Cook, supported by Commissioner Lutz, and then I'm going to have you reread it.
Do you want me to reread it?
Oh, yeah, you must during the motion.
Do you want the names of the intersections? Or are you
No.
good?
No.
Okay.
Now, we've established that's going to be on the working order.
Move to submit a work order to the Tuscola County Road Commission for installation of the 12 solar flashing stop signs, 24 rumble strips at the 6 intersections. The work order to be submitted with a required response, within 72 hours. The Tuscola County Road Commission is to have first right of refusal of installation of said equipment. The Tuscola County Board can seek alternate installation company if the Tuscola County Road Commission refuses installation.
Can should be will.
Oh, I did change that down here. I just didn't
Okay.
change that. Yes.
Can I add one more thing? I apologize. I think there should be a clause, if they do not respond, that is an automatic denial.
That's a good idea.
So if they do not respond, that equals that that is their right of refusal.
Because they haven't responded to us so far, so yeah, that's probably a good idea.
That's my,
Well, you're still giving them a 72-hour, if at the end of 72 hours.
That just states the
I would say that.
outcome.
Okay.
What do you think?
I'm okay with that. I'm to the point where I want to see it on a screen. I'm a viewer type of person. I got to see it. But there was it seems like semantic word, switching of words, and I got him listening to the other discussion. You're gonna get this memorized before you're done. I'm sorry. But somewhere around that required response, read that how you wrote that again. Where the 72-hour, it was in that section somewhere.
The work order to be submitted is required to have a 72-hour response. Is that what you're referring to?
Is
I'm just
required-
asking, is that what you're
is re-
referring to? Is
Yeah, I
that-
think so, as is required to have a 72-hour response. Okay, then go further.
The Tuscola County Road Commission is to have first right of refusal for the installation of said equipment. The Tuscola County Board will seek alternate installation company if the Tuscola County Road Commission refuses installation.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
And then if there is no response from the Tuscola County Road Commission, there will be a considered of a denial of the work order.
Okay,
If you,
that's good as well.
Think that covers it, Vice Chair?
I think so. You know, I'm a visual type of person, but I think that's good. 72-hour response is required. Or it was, I think I was thinking a 72-hour required response versus response required. Did you have required or response first?
I have a response is required within 72 hours.
Okay, that'll be fine. I understand it now. All right, so that is the motion. Does anyone at the board need it reread? Under peril of,
We probably should read it again.
One more
time.
Sorry,
Yeah, I
so we
would.
vote on it.
yeah.
Okay. If I do it, move to submit a work order Move to submit a work order to Tuscola County Road Commission for installation of 12 solar flashing stop signs, 24 rumble strips at the 6 intersections. The work order to be submitted with a response required within 72 hours. The Tuscola County Road Commission is to have first right of refusal for installation of said equipment. The Tuscola County Board can seek alternate installation company if the Tuscola County Road Commission refuses installation. If there is no response from the Tuscola County Road Commission, that will be considered for a denial of the work order.
Sufficient?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I am too.
All right, well, thank you for all the wordsmithing and everyone's involved in this. I think that is the motion that will be brought forward. So with that motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing or seeing none, we'll do a roll call vote. Initiated by clerk.
Commissioner Barrios?
Yes.
Commissioner Bardwell?
Yes,
Commissioner Lutz?
Yes,
And Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
Motion
All right.
carried.
well, thank you very much. If I may digress just a moment, I think Chairman Vaughn is on the line. Is that yet? I know he's having some hookup difficulties.
Yeah, I'm on the line, Vice Chair.
Okay. Chairman, do you want, we're in this moment where we just completed a motion. Before we move on, would you like to brief the board on the latest related to legal opinions, or would you like to hold that for a later date?
I said it's something that we need to think about. I did reach out to Mac, and I did get a response from Mac, and I did reach out to Cole Stouffer, and I got a response from Cole Stouffer, and the latest in the legal opinion it basically is Cole Stouffer called disbanding the board a sticky wicket. Like a gray area. So I guess the only thing I'm going to add, Vice Chair, is that if the board needs to discuss what you want to do, but if you want to look at taking control of the road commission, we move to get language put together, and we move it to the ballot.
Okay. So just in summary, the opinion of Cole Stoker concurred with the opinion of Ron Kendrick. Basically, there aren't any precedents.
Yes, Lisa. There's no precedent. It's a very gray area. And it's challengeable if you do it that way.
Any questions for the chairman, board? Well, thanks.
Yeah, I hope it rains down there.
It's been raining this morning.
Oh, good.
All right. Well, thank you, Chairman Vaughn.
So Vice Chair, I have a question.
Yes.
So if we want to move forward with this, do we didn't bring that committee of the whole and talk about it? And then how do we go about that?
Well, I'll sort of back up. I saw an email, which I don't have in front of me now, where we were established, what's the deadline, the drop dead date for, depending on which election? And Jody responded, everyone got that right?
Yeah.
I don't remember the date.
May.
April 28th. I knew it was moved up from what I thought of, so it's April 28th. So that doesn't give a lot of time, but now to answer your question, probably I would suggest we do it at a committee of the whole, and then unless the board is contrary to that.
Well, then I'd like to have it on the next committee of the whole then be discussed.
Okay.
The August ballot is May 12th,
May 12th.
according to her email on January 12th.
Okay, that's
So could we have that done, Erica? Put that on the next committee of the whole? Thank you.
26th.
Yes, should be the 26th.
so. In proceeding with this, are you considering the crafting of that motion? Normally, you would take previous motions from somebody else and look at them and craft them. I don't know if there is any. That would be the first perhaps step. Other than that, it's up to your own creativity. So is this something you want at that time to consider legal doing, or us crafting it and legal reviewing it?
I guess that's what I was thinking of, the committee of the whole. We could talk about it and see if we have legal do it or if we do it. I would
Okay.
probably think have legal do it, but I don't know. I guess it's up to the board.
Because this would be ballot language, correct?
Yes, I would think
Talking
you'd
about
want to
ballot
have
language.
legal language, but
Mr. Vice Chair, Jody
Jody, you're recognized.
Good morning.
She's in Florida.
Wish it rains. Yes, good morning on behalf of the
I
board.
hope it rains down there, Jody.
Unfortunately, today it is not raining, but it is cloudy. I'll give you that much, Commissioner Vaughn. So kudos to Deputy Clerk Pisha. I was trying to help her behind the scenes in crafting your motion. So with that though, in moving forward into looking at putting something on the ballot, I would highly recommend that language is crafted by legal. I don't feel that that's something that should be just crafted at the board level. So I would be supportive of you placing that on a future meeting, not handling that in this meeting. So I appreciate that. But any ballot language really should go through legal to make sure that all the necessary language is included in there, the best that they can do, even though there's not a precedent. We are gonna, if we place that on the ballot, obviously we're gonna be setting that precedent. So we wanna make sure that the language being placed to our voters is crafted the best that we can, so it doesn't open us up to any litigation that could be filed.
Can I ask a question to the clerk, Vice Chair?
Go ahead, Chairman.
Now, Jody, if we put this on the August ballot, then can we also put it on the November ballot if we need to?
So if you're saying like if it was to fail in August,
Yes.
normally, matters can be placed on a subsequent ballot, like a millage request can be. If it was to fail in August, it would be able to go through to November. This is a little bit of a different matter, so we would have to look at any law guidance that we can. And so I would refrain from answering that fully without speaking to our legal counsel regarding that. Because sometimes there are stipulations that prevent a matter being taken to the voters more than once in a calendar year. So I'm going to refrain from answering for sure, just because this is a unique situation for us.
Right, so I think that needs to be discussed too when you discuss it. Because, you know, there's a lot more people in November than there is August. So that needs to be discussed, which ballot that the board would like it to go on. And I'm trying to be careful here because I'm not supposed to get involved here too much. So thank you. So thank you for that, Jody.
You're welcome. I just, I think that, it may not be something that is ready by the end of January. We may have to even wait till February. I don't feel that this is something that the language should be rushed on, but if legal counsel is able to prepare that for the end of January, then definitely move forward then. We just want to make sure we get it right.
Exactly.
Well, thank you, Clerk Fetting and Chairman, for your added thoughts. Any other questions at this point?
Go ahead.
I don't think we're asking to have the language drafted on the 26th. I think more discussion on the 26th and then go from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least I'm just,
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. Then we could have them proceed with legal.
That's what I was
And
searching
then-
for.
Okay, and that's where I wasn't for sure in your discussion, because you'll need to decide which legal counsel that you want to pursue this matter as well. So that would be maybe even part of the discussion on January 26th.
All right. Anything else related to this? Once again, thanks both of you for your assistance and furthering the discussion. If there's no further discussion, I just have, I'm going back to the battery. What's the longevity if the county has these installed? I'm just looking at this and I know it's a solar and the batteries recharged. What's the life expectancy? Was that included? Because someone's must be in charge of remedying that situation if life at the end of life expectancy. Is that something that you could answer, Billy?
That's right.
Could you come up?
Yeah.
Just before we move on, because just a segue.
Don't laugh at me. Or my wife.
That's your
They said
job.
I couldn't talk today.
Oh, so
That's their
we
job,
broke the
Glenn.
rule.
Yeah. So
Jen, can you come up and talk to us?
Like, stay in the car, Dan. So we have some of the similar equipment for some of our other projects. We bought other solar power plus battery units, doing other things, and we anywhere from 18 to 24 months where we see a battery issue. So depending on temperature, location of the sun, that kind of stuff. But
Okay.
it lasts quite a bit. It charges during the day. All the intersections basically face south, so you got a good sun thing there. So if that answers your question.
It does. I was just thinking the longevity or life expectancy, and depending on who installs and how this plays out.
And the batteries are relatively cheap. I mean, we priced it out and it added like, what was the difference? Like $20?
Yeah.
It added $20 to the total.
I see.
So they're easily replaced. And it's a pretty decent system.
Okay.
I do have a side question, which I'll get chastised for. I was going to do it during public comment, but just to bring it up to you guys to speed. And I'm just playing advocate here because I know how this has been going for me. I don't think it's fair that the cost should come out of your guys' funds. I'd see them not responding back in the 72 hours because they're just going to stick you with the labor. But I do know that you guys can earmark to set aside funds from their funds. And I don't know if that's something you want to address today, and earmark an X amount of dollars in perpetuity of good news or bad news, depending on how they respond. So
I think Erica could tell you that.
but that's just, I wanted to put that on your plate because I think I know how this is going to go. So
Well, thank you, Billy. And hopefully you won't be in too much problems on the way home. Good.
That's why he's sitting in the back row.
All right, well, thank you for answering that question. I just kept thinking about that. But anyway, if there's no other comments or questions on the board on this, we'll move on to number 3, Central Dispatch Director vacant position update, and Erica Dibble, our Control Administrator, will bring us up to date.
So Commissioner Cook and I were present for the Dispatch Authority Board meeting. And given the need for a millage there and their funding issues, they think that it may be in our best interest to hold off on the search for now. However, right, that is up to our board ultimately. They are recommending that we hold and keep our 2 interim co-directors at this time as a cost-saving measure. In addition to that, Steve and Carrie they're figuring everything out as to where are we truly financially, what is coming down the pipe, what do we need, and they're getting a plan together. That's going to be hard to have a new director jump in the midst of that. So they're trying to figure out where are we going to land financially. So this could perhaps change at the next authority board meeting, but they don't meet every month, they meet every other month. So they are asking the board to kind of hold at this time.
Can I expound on that?
Please.
I'm on the authority board.
Mr. Cook.
So, yeah, I piggyback what Erica said, and half of the meeting, or probably 3/4 of the meeting, the things that they have found to eliminate to save money, Stephen and Carrie, this was then discussed at the end of the meeting that it wouldn't be fair to new 911 director to come in right around now or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whenever that position be full. And number one, the first thing on him or her plate would be, hey, you got a millage you got to sell. And then if the millage goes down, then we would try for the November millage. And so again, from the authority board, they made the unanimous decision to say, let's just keep status quo until after the election. That pretty much covered it?
It does. I did craft the motion to say that it could be until further notice or something to that effect, because things can change. At the next authority board meeting, something could come up and that could change. So I didn't want to.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. No problem. Thanks for your time.
Alrighty.
So, in addition to that, you'll see that there's a second motion. The authority board also would like to increase the stipend that we have for Carrie and Steve, because this is a longer period of time now, and they are doing a lot more work on top of their regular duties. They're doing deep dives to find where are we, what, all of these high level planning things in addition to all of their day-to-day operations. So again, that is up to the decision of our board. They recommended the dollar amount in the motion. So there's 2 separate motions recommended.
Well, thank you for all that. Any other discussion or questions for Erica or?
I attended the Firemen's Association meeting, and when I left there, I thought my first inkling was we need to keep these 2 people on to keep the continuity going. They had quite a large group at that meeting, and there was a lot that they were trying to discuss and sort out, and that was my inkling as well from that meeting. So I concur with that.
I think that was the same, was it Tuesday? Tuesday afternoon?
Evening. Well, what was it?
Tuesday.
Evening.
Tuesday evening. because ours was in the morning.
Was there any other discussion or is there a motion to come forward?
Vice Chair, I move that per the recommendation of Tuscola County Dispatch Authority Board, recruiting efforts for the Director of Central Dispatch be suspended until after the August 4th, 2026 election. Current appointment of Carrie, I always pronounce that.
Tabar.
No, your first name, sorry. Carrie Tabar and Steve Anderson as interim co-dispatch directors will remain in effect until further notice. This arrangement can be reevaluated by Tuscola County Dispatch Authority Board or the Tuscola County Board of Commissioners at any time.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner Cook and supported by Commissioner Lutz, that for the recommendation of the Tuscola County Dispatch Authority Board, the recruiting efforts for the Director of Central Dispatch be suspended until after the August 4th, 2026 election. Current appointment of Carrie Tabar and Steve Anderson as interim code dispatch directors will remain in effect until further notice. The arrangement can be reevaluated by Tuscola County Dispatch Authority Board or the Tuscola County Board of Commissioners at any time. As the motion brought forward, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, the motion is approved. To continue on as is.
Commissioner, I'll move that per the recommendation of the Tuscola County Dispatch Authority Board, the stipend for Carrie Tabar and Steve Anderson as interim co-dispatch directors be increased to $800 per pay period effective January 17th, 2026 due to the extended period of time and the increased duties.
I'll support that.
Been moved by Commissioner Barrios and supported by Commissioner Lutz that per the recommendation of the Tuscola County Dispatch Authority Board, the stipend for Carrie Tabar and Steve Anderson as interim co-dispatch directors be increased to $800 per pay period effective January 17th, 2026 due to the extended period of time and the increased duties. That is the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Secondary motion is approved as well for the stipend increase. Well, thank you for bringing that forward. And if there's nothing else relating to that, we'll move on to number 4, which is Central Dispatch door purchases. And again, Erica Deadwell, Control Administrator, will bring us up to date.
Commissioners, this was previously approved in July to be paid out of the dispatch line item. Now that the door is installed and we are receiving the invoice, we are more aware of their financial peril, let's say. So I worked with Director Miller, and we do have funds available in our capital improvement fund. So we're requesting to change the line item for that invoice that is now going to be paid in 2026 to our 483 fund.
And that's the capital improvement.
That's the capital improvement fund. And again, the price of the door is higher than a normal door because it is dispatch and it has to meet certain requirements. So it's an expensive door. So, but it's needed. It's already installed, it's, already there. We're just asking to pay for it out of the 483 fund instead of dispatch to help them maintain their fund balance a little longer.
Mr. Vice Chair, I move to approve the payment of Dave's Glass LLC for the purchase and installation of the ballistic dark bronze aluminum door in frame in the amount of $10,800 from the line item 483-359-955-000 rather than the line items of 218-334-970-000 as indicated by the previous motion 2025 M175.
I'll support that.
Moved by Commissioner Lutz and supported by Commissioner Cook to approve the payment of Dave's Glass for the purchase and installation of a ballistic dark bronze aluminum door and frame in the amount of $10,800 from line item 483-359-955 and 000 rather than line item 218-334-970 and then 000 as indicated by the previous motion, which was 2025 M-175. That is the motion. Is there any further discussion?
I just want to thank Director Miller for doing that for the 911, bringing that up as a possibility. See, I do like you.
It's tough to tell.
Should it be a matter of record? or not? Okay. All right. Any further discussion other than the matter of record of acceptance? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, the motion is approved for the change of light items and payment. And number 5, the 2026 IRS mileage rate increase. Suspect Erica will be bringing that up.
Yes, again, this is just a matter of our record to have a motion saying that we are following the IRS standard mileage rate of 72.5 cents per mile. So we would like to update our approval rate for the commissioners, which also will extend out to the Tuscola County Health Department as well. I think they may have left, but they follow us as well.
Vice Chair, I move that effective January 1, 2026, the standard county mileage rate be increased from 70 cents per mile to 72.5 cents per mile as established by the Internal Revenue Service, IRS.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner Cook, supported by Commissioner Barrios, to that effective January 1st, 2026, the standard county mileage rate be increased from 70 cents per mile to 0.725 cents per mile as established by the Internal Revenue Service. That is the motion. Any further questions or discussion? Hearing or seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Thank you for that. And moving on, number 6, 2026 Tuscola County Pumpkin Festival request to use the courthouse lawn, and Commissioner Nancy Barrios will be updating the board.
I received this request from Julie Matuzak, who is the current chairperson, and she is getting ready to step down from that position. So she's trying to get everything organized for the next person to assume that role. So she asked me if I would put this through so that we get the approval to use the courthouse lawn, as they have for a number of years for the Pumpkin Festival for the event. So it's just a matter of getting this taken care of a little earlier this year than normal.
Mr. Vice Chair, I move to approve the use of the courthouse lawn for the 2026 Pumpkin Festival from September 25, 2026 to October 5th, 2026.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner Lutz and supported by Commissioner Barrios to approve the use of the courthouse lawn for the 2026 Pumpkin Festival from September 25th, 2026 to October 5th, 2026. There's the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none? Motion is approved. Thank you, Commissioner Barrios. And the additional item on number 7 under new business is the controller office staffing, and Erica, our controller administrator, will be presenting.
I do have a handout for you, all you commissioners, as well as the clerk. So I would like to inform the board that I'm going to be stepping down from my position, and I'm going to do so in a phased approach. It is my intention to end my full-time employment in March and then go down to part-time hourly until my official end date, which will be June 1st. I have some recommended items for the board in addition to that. So I have some ideas of things that we need to do to help our office structurally. So if the board does agree to some of these actions, then of course my pay would be adjusted accordingly. So I'll explain those in a moment after I hand them out. Oh, this is a surprise.
Thank you.
Thank you. There, no, there's, yeah, there's 2.
Okay, back to my post here. So I am requesting an office restructure, and I know that this has been done in the past. However, there are some systematic issues. So, and I don't necessarily need to read this whole thing. I can give you a moment to read if you'd like. And I've also asked HR Director Shelley to come in as well. Would you like me to hit the high points? What would you like me to do?
Pleasure of the board.
You can hit the high points as far as I'm concerned.
All right, same.
All right with you, Matt?
Yeah, that's fine.
Sounds great. All right.
Okay, so
Give us a brief
the
overview.
high points are that our office has, let's say, been underwater for quite some time. So, and there is an open position in our department that has not been filled. And so I am seeking to split the controller administrator role. It is two large roles that both require a significant amount of work and focus. And so I think that if we do not split that role, you're going to have a hard time finding somebody who can stay in that role long-term. It's not sustainable in its current structure. So in doing that, obviously the pay would need to be adjusted, as well as duties. In addition to that, with the retirement of our long-term employees, a lot of the duties have been allocated out, and it might not be allocated out equitably. So I'm seeking not only to change my role to two roles, but I'm also seeking approval to begin the process of reevaluating each role and reevaluating all of the tasks. And how are we going to assign those tasks equitably for the betterment of the entire office? That is the very brief summary. As you see, I have some reasons, in my opinion, why why my roles particularly should be split. There is significantly increased amount of regulatory compliance, financial complexity. Our office has absorbed a lot of things over the years, and we've just handled them. Things such as anything that we do to save money. When we change healthcare providers, when we change life insurance providers, we now manage all those bills in-house. So what does that mean? That means Susie gets added, Jimmy goes off. All of those are managed. It's called self-billing. So we do all of that ourselves. We do all of the calculations ourselves. Is that within our scope? It is. But when you add that on top of our normal day, okay, so it adds another hour a week. No problem. And then the next item comes on and it adds another hour a week. And then the next and the next and the next. So my staff has higher than allowed comp time banks because we have to get the work done. Our job has to get done. And then in addition to that, if we take a day off, it's a problem. So we are unable to use our comp time because there's no backup. So I think we need a sixth person. Now, again, we've already budgeted, and it has been budgeted for years, this sixth position in our office. So I'd like to utilize that budgetary number and try to get to as close to budget neutral as we can. But I haven't began the deep dive process as to where are we going to land. I didn't want to put all of that into this if the board is not agreeable to splitting the role. If the board is agreeable to splitting the role, we will come back to you in the next meeting with a little bit more information and say, here's our job descriptions for the administrator controller. Here is the rates that we propose. And then my vision for now is we'll start seeking an administrator. Once that administrator comes on, my pay would be adjusted down to whatever the controller only portion would be. And we would then continue on. And then in March, I will go down to part-time so that I can step away and do the things that I need to do. And then we can start the search for a controller or start the promotion process, whatever is deemed necessary at that time. but to maintain 6 people in that department. So I envision controller, accountant, and then an AP person, administrator, HR, and a payroll person. That's the vision. 3 finance and 3 HR. HR would include payroll. I know that's a lot. And I know I had briefly discussed it with Commissioner Bardwell, so he was not taken back. So I understand that you might have many questions. I did prepare a motion for you on the last page, just authorizing our office to start this process. Again, I understand division of duties is within my scope. I don't necessarily need to come to the board to say, can I ask Shelley to do something that Debbie's doing or vice versa? However, this could involve title changes as well as pay changes.
Thank you for that overview. I know this is a lot to absorb and we're just getting a handout. Does anyone on the board have any questions, any thoughts? Like to share?
Commissioner, do we have to respond to this motion today? Can we take this home and ponder it? Is it?
You do not have to respond today. However, the longer we wait to to give us permission to split the role. So this is not saying that we're going to advertise and hire somebody. This is just saying we're open to splitting the role, and yes, it's worth your time to put that effort into that. We have a lot of things on our plate, and I don't want to spend the time splitting the role, doing all the financials for the board to say, we're not even considering splitting that role.
Would it be a good segue at the moment? Chairman Vaughn and I have had discussions on this. And Commissioner Vaughn, if all things are working virtually for you, would you like to address the board and give me some thoughts, and especially some of the thoughts that we shared with me? I know this is something you've been thinking about.
Well, you know, as a board, we've discussed this for on and off for ever since I've been on the board. It's always been discussed. We've never done it. We've always talked about doing it. But I think with all the new changes and stuff, of course, I'm down in there a lot to see what these girls are doing. With all the new changes, of course, I'm in favor of going this route. And if we go forward with the road commission, as we're talking to, we will wish that we've done this back then, because then that position will definitely be needed. With extra stuff that will be required to be done. But like I said, and I don't think the girls, they're asking for, they just want to be able to move forward with finances, how would look, who would get this pay, how would get that pay, and just where they can lay it out. But it's not sustainable the way it is. And even when Colette was there, if we would have had an administrator or even another accountant or whatever, she probably would have hung on another 4 or 5 years. She mentioned that to me many times. It's just too overwhelming with one person doing it with the way the world is today and what's going on. So as we had a discussion, I did discuss with Commissioner Bardwell on it, and I would like to see him be able to move forward with getting us more information, of course, on how exactly it would look. But the longer we put up the process, right now, Erica, is maintained until in the March before she wants to go down to part-time. I don't know if you keep that pace up for 2 or 3 more months, because it is overwhelming. So that's just my 2 cents on that matter. But I think it's something we discussed a long time, and if we was ever going to do it, I think now is when we need to be serious about it.
Thank you, Chairman, for the update and your thoughts. Further board discussion?
Well, Erica, I'm going to be sorry to see you go. You're very good at what you do.
Well, I appreciate that. And I do appreciate the opportunity. However, just life has changed and I cannot maintain this pace.
I understand.
Anyone else?
I echo that 100%. The motion, the only problem I guess I have, not problem, but question to bring up is the move to approve the use of the existing budgeted vacant position. So that, you're telling that is in the 26 budget?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Vice Chair, I move to approve the use of exiting budget vacant position of beginning the process for restructuring, including dividing the county controller and the administrator roles. Controller/administrator office to return to the financial job description and proposed salary ranges prior to the job posting.
I'll support that.
All right, thank you for that. Motion by Commissioner Lutz and support by Commissioner Cook to approve the use of an existing budgeted vacant position to begin the process of restructuring, including dividing the county control and administrator roles. Control administrator's office will return with finalized job descriptions and proposed salary ranges prior to job posting. That is the motion. Step forward.
Can I get a clarification?
Oh, sure.
So I think you already said it, Erica, but this does not in any way, number one, go ahead with the job posting and or tie or, say that we're definitely going to do this beyond a shadow of a doubt.
That's correct.
Okay.
This is just telling me that
Right.
it is being considered and worth my
And I'm
time.
not saying I'm not
No,
in
and
favor
it's,
of it,
it's a good use of my time to do the split and the calculations.
Thank
Again, we have a lot on our plate and we do not want to waste our time on something that you are not going to even consider.
Right.
So that's the question. If you consider it, we'll move forward and prioritize that. There are some other items on our plate right now that have internal revenue service deadlines or grant deadlines. So that has to take priority this week. But then next week, this will become my focus.
Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Vice Chair.
Thank you. Further discussion?
I have a question. The motion is to approve the use of the existing budgeted vacant position. Can you explain what do you mean by that? To use the funds from that position?
Yes.
Not the position itself?
So we would not, so if we split my role into two, right, that would make an office of 6. I'm trying to be clear that we're not adding another 7th. So we already have a vacant position in our office that has been vacant for years and not been filled, but been budgeted. So I don't want to say we're going to divide Erica's job into 2, so that would be 6, but we still have a vacancy over here for a 7th person. So I'm saying yes, the funds that were budgeted for that, as well as the head count. So if our head count in our office is 6, I'm not asking to make it 7.
You're just asking to take the funds and divide them between the existing positions. Is that what you're saying?
Well, the existing plus mine, plus dividing mine, right? I'm not asking to take those funds and give them and not split my role. But there is a vacancy, but in our office cannot maintain with 5 people. So if the board chooses not to split my role, then the next request will be to fill that vacancy. Because we need an extra set of hands. If it's administrator controller, or is it, I don't know, an accountant instead of chief accountant. I don't know the answer, but that's what that means. So use of the funds and use of that head count.
Any further thoughts? Well, thank you for the clarity of different aspects of the motion. usually I can't stand silence when I ask, and I usually am the one who fills in a gap, but I just wanted the approval of the board at the end of the table there. You normally have to listen to my thoughts. It's, and Commissioner Vaughn as well, and I've discussed this, and I'm sure you've all been involved or heard. We have had this discussion for years, on and off, but not so much in the early days it was as the latter. Only in the sense that we enjoyed Mike Hogan, who had 30-some years, and then we had Clayette, who they grew up in this vicinity. And we realized in recruiting it was difficult to find someone to just, as the old Hertz commercial, you saw the gentleman fall in his seat. Very hard to do. And I, like Commissioner Cook and Lutz, commend what you've done. I was part of the budget meetings, and the detail that went in was unprecedented in the past, at least in the public or with the elected. And I held that in high regard because that was not an easy 2 meetings. The first one was hard enough to go through, but as we all remember. But I think that it would be good to consider this, and I know that the chairman has sort of accoladed this so well, consider the splitting. We've noticed it's getting more complex, not only with the clerk, with the treasurer, and I'm probably missing somebody. In terms of duties and responsibilities, the states, we call them unfunded mandates. They've never stopped. And it's getting more difficult. And that's my perspective, and that's just, I've been sitting in a seat up here for a few years, that it doesn't surprise me. But on the other hand, we want to make sure, and I appreciate on behalf of the chair and others, the motion, and the chair in terms of previous discussion, to set this timeline in place, because the transition is always the most difficult. You're there before you know it, and that's difficult. And so I was listening to how you were splitting up the administrator in terms of structure. And there is in this handout on near the second to last page, there is a very high level, but job description for controller administrator. I thought we might have had one, Eric and I talked about this morning, see if she'd ever seen one. I thought we had one at one time for discussion purposes, just as a template, but needless to say, that's part of the motion anyway, to come back with separation of duties and a little bit of instruction. So that may have been redundant, but I just thought it'd be a good opportunity to not only accolade the thanks at this point, but I know you're going to be involved for a while yet, and that we could take another look amidst of all the financial discussions that we still have yet to go. So there's my thoughts.
Well, Mr. Vice Chair, I'd like to say, I want to reiterate what Chairman Vaughn's, I've been in there. I've seen what goes on in Erica's office. It's crazy. I mean, they're so busy. It's hard to get anything done, because you think you put this fire out and all of a sudden you got another one. Mm-hmm. And I think this has been coming for a while. That's going to have to be separated out. That administrator, you know, they said it used to be what 75-25 controller. It's got to be at least 50-50, if not more. Mm-hmm. So I just know she's really busy.
I know and echoing that and going a little further, all the electeds have had increased responsibility. At least I believe that to be true, and the fact that we don't want to leave anybody out, but the county government is not getting any simpler, just like everything else, I suppose. But we do have a motion that is in front of us, and it sounds like it's crafted to the liking of the board. No further discussion?
Just for me.
All right, then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Hearing none, the motion to proceed to begin the restructuring has been approved. Well, thank you, Erica, for that.
Thank you.
Look forward to your future thoughts. Okay, that was the last of the new business. We do have couple old businesses to take care of. One is discussion on the Drive Safe marketing campaign, which Erica, our control administrator, will bring us up to speed.
Thank you, Shelley. So we had a brief discussion regarding the road safety, and we do know that part of the problem is distracted driving. However, the things we're trying to do with the stop sign and the rumble strips are to help bring the person's focus back to what they're doing, which is driving. But we had a brief discussion with the sheriff, dispatch co-directors, and I believe Commissioner Barrios. And I suggested, what if we do a marketing campaign such as you would do for anything that you're trying to draw attention to. Some of the things you can do cost dollars. If you want to do a billboard, a Drive Safe billboard, those things. But there are other things you can do that don't cost any dollars. You can do the social marketing, the social media marketing. You could ask, people who own businesses to help you and put those flyers or such out. But it does take time and effort to create a marketing campaign. And then who would have the ultimate approval on that? And then do we want to set a budget for those things? So, I'm thinking people don't see negative. So if you say, don't text and drive, they see text and drive. So you need to say, drive safe, right? So it's kind of how I view when you're parenting a child, you should not say to the child, don't run. They hear run. You say walk. That tells them this is what's expected of you. So I would like to start something, a Drive Safe campaign, and we can ask for volunteers to help with some, making it palatable, right? You have to have things that are attention getting. But then there also comes, part of it is going to be what happens to you if you don't drive safe. I know that the emergency manager has done things at the schools already, things to that nature, but I'm talking not just in the schools. I am talking of Tuscola County-wide, because we talked to the sheriff. It is not just teenagers, right? That this is happening to. Teenagers are taught to drive safe in their driver's education. They know. We're talking about people my age that maybe are just, their car doesn't have Bluetooth, or maybe they don't know how to operate the Bluetooth. There's things that we need to do. And I just think that that's one thing we can do that does not cost a lot of money. It's going to cost some effort. But again, if we save a life, it's worth it. So I guess I don't necessarily know if we need a motion on that, or if I need permission to start having those discussions, to ask for volunteers. Do we need a committee? Who's going to ultimately approve the messages before they go out? I'm open to interpretation. This was just an idea that we came up with on Monday, and we wanted to discuss it.
Mr. Vice Chair.
Any thoughts?
I do like the health department. They have the stuff at Speedway on there when you're getting gas.
Mhm.
They have the thing on there about that. I think that would be a good idea. Like, start with something like that. You're going to get gas. They have their advertisements there. I don't know if that costs, but if it costs anything, but just an idea.
Well, thank you for that. It's sort of an interesting concept. Any other thoughts or discussion?
I think it's a good idea. I really do.
Yes, I thought it was an excellent idea.
Did that come out of which meeting?
It was just after our committee of the whole meeting.
Oh, good.
As we were exiting, Commissioner Barrios and the sheriff and the dispatch directors, and I believe there was some citizens involved as well, that it just kind of came up as we were exiting the building. And so we and I said, again, if I want to draw attention to something, I do marketing, right?
Yep.
So, and I envisioned sort of like the war on drugs type thing, right? Like we have to have an initiative and a strategy. Okay, we're going to we're going to have a budget of $500 and we're going to do at least one post per week. We're going to do, on social media that's free. We're going to do a billboard for X amount of days. We have to have a strategy. But who is in charge of that strategy? And do we need board approval on every single item, or do you put one person in charge and then that person reports back to the board? Or do we not need board action? The sheriff does not need board approval on his Facebook posts. He has authority. But we don't want to ask this of the sheriff on top of everything else. We want to create the ad, create the thing, and then say, hey, sheriff, would you post this? Dispatch, would you post this? And I know we have some people who are probably great at those types of things in our audience today. I would be willing to help, off the clock. Of course, I would help. I enjoy using Canva and that sort of thing. And I definitely could, spend some time on that on my own time. However, who's ultimately responsible for getting those ads out there, and what board approval is necessary, if any? We don't want everyone doing their own thing. We'd like to have a united ad campaign. I have not even began to look up billboard costs or anything to that effect. Do we even want to do that? But people are driving. Maybe they'll see the billboard that says drive safe. I don't know.
I'm just thinking oxymoron here, where they look at the billboard and be distracted.
Yes, I agree with that.
That's why I said the thing at the gas pump. You're already standing there at the gas pump, looking at the gas pump. They have them ads that run. So you're not being distracted driving. You're putting gas. Everybody's going to put gas in their car.
It's we were just flooded with so much social media. It's such a challenge. And to think we all started with fast foods and eating the fast foods while we're driving. And now we don't even talk about that. It's even with the technological improvements of voice, you can talk, and you've got all the screens in the vehicles, or most of them.
I don't know.
It all adds up. And then with some children in the back seat. Yeah. You've been looking at me, and I know you've got something in your mind.
I wanted to suggest that we form a little subcommittee that gets together to look at some options, what we could do. I know that there's billboards, there's social media, I mentioned the theater in Cass City. They always put little advertisements. So there's all kinds of little things people can put in the newspaper. We might even be able to get the television stations to do something. EdTech is another possibility. The kids that are in the programs in EdTech that do media might be able to create something, and it'll be a twofer, because they'll be working with the young kids that are, the young kid portion. But I don't think any one person can do that. I'm not a technology guru. So, for me, that would be a struggle. My son's looked at billboards before, and they can be very expensive for a month period of time, up to $700,000.
Whoa.
They can be quite expensive short term. But I think we need to create some type of a committee to look into the things that were obviously, they're missing, they're falling between the cracks. Somewhere along the way, we've got all this administration and, road commission and us, and I think there's an opportunity. But just my thoughts.
So with the board's permission, then I can send out an email and ask who would like to volunteer to be on that committee and set up something. And I'm sure that there are employees who might have great ideas as well, or are citizens. So we can start with asking for volunteers in-house of those that I have. And of course, I can reach out to the Putnam family, and I'm sure you have some ideas as well, and maybe even some contacts So we can start that and get that committee, and then we'll figure it out from there. Now, does the board need do I need board approval? Once we have a committee and we find, obviously, if there's financial involved, I understand we need board approval. But if there's no finance involved, do I need board approval, or is the committee approval enough to say, create a Facebook page or add or provide the graphic to other departments to post, ask the clerk to post it on her page? Do I need board approval for any of that? Or is the committee approval sufficient?
I think it depends.
I don't have a problem with that. The committee doing
I was gonna say, I think it depends on who's on the committee. If we have the controller administrator on the committee that can look at the context of the, that would be.
To make sure there's no
Right,
there's not
boo-boos.
any.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Commissioner Vargas. The first thought I had is if it represents the county in any way, the county should probably have the oversight of the message just because it represents the county. How that's, well, becoming from the, would it be coming from the county, would it not? The message.
Well,
Somebody.
that's part of the committee discussion,
Okay.
right? So I would
So more to
assume
come.
that we would create some sort of a marketing strategy, at minimum, some graphics, the image, and then we would either create our own Facebook page and start posting and gathering followers, or we would ask the sheriff, dispatch, the clerk to put it onto their own pages. You know, there's other pages, the Carroll Community page, there's all these other pages that you can request that they put it on their page. Now, again, that's all free unless you want to do a sponsored ad, and then you have to pay for that. So, but the free, you know, we can ask the Thumbnet, we can ask them to post about it. We could ask the advertiser if they'd be willing to help us at no charge. You know, those are things we can try to do. Again, every little bit helps. Getting out some sort of a pay attention when you're driving campaign.
So if I could try to frame it, I think the question is, may a group be formed to review the options? And then the other area would be, does the board want to see the options? I mean, I don't, ladies and gentlemen, as far as creating a group, I don't know. No problem with that unless you have an objection. And as far as coming back with, well, this is what we're going to recommend. I think that would be a recommendation for the board to see what, how the effectivity, and the board should at least be aware. What do you
I think so.
So give them the leeway to go ahead and form a committee, because it is cost neutral.
Sure.
Okay. Did we cover all your questions?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks, Sergio.
All right, that's number one. And the added item is the Amish Bridge update, the continuing saga. I'll open a little bit. So a couple of weeks ago, I received a call from Representative Alexander. Well, actually, I received a call from Chairman Kwan, who received a call from Terry McFadden from the DNR, who's over the Carroll, and I think it's the Carroll, definitely the Cass City region, to set up a meeting out at Friday morning, out at the DNR on the curve going to Cass City, and then meet there and to move over to the area where the proposed bridge should be, so they could see it. Okay. So in talking to Terry McFadden, that was the plan. We moved forward. We contacted Bishop Byler, Hayden Byler, so he would be there, and some others. Contacted Nancy, it's her, or Commissioner Barrios, it's in her district, sort of put it all together. All right. 2 weeks ago. As of 3 days ago, Representative Alexander called and said, hey, he wasn't really happy. Something's changed. They don't want me to come to the meeting. Okay. Well, Representative, it is your district. I'm not sure how they could stop that. All right. he didn't know a lot at that time, but we bounced it back and forth. He had something else to do. I said, well, let me get Aiden, the bishop, and I'll let Nancy know. So we did that. I don't think it was 3 days later. I started to think about this, so I called Terry McFadden yesterday and talked to him. And since then, it has been escalated up to a lady named Sarah Thompson, who is over Terry McFadden because she only wanted, as I understood, one source of communication. Okay, go with that. And Terry's out of it. So in talking to Terry, I said, what about the meeting on the curve? No, well, it's in her hands. Now they're going to meet at the road commission. And Representative Alexander mentioned that, but I didn't put it all together at the time. Why would you meet with the road commission? They won't even know what we're doing for 3 years. Originally, they went to the road commission and the townships, but it was too expensive to fix. This is what it's all about, the Hadley Road Bridge. The Hadley Road Bridge has been out for quite a while, but it would satisfy, if that was fixed, it would be satisfactory to not only the community, solve that need of crossing the bridge, but also the local residents, because it would be an auto. So Hadley Road sort of dead ends and it picks up on the other side if you've ever been out that way. All right, so tomorrow, this is the end of mine, Commissioner Barrios is going to go ahead and proceed to meet out at the road commission. And we believe it's over, I believe from Terry, that it's going to be over the Hadley Road Bridge as an alternative, because they really don't want to give any egress, whatever, through that area, because it is, go back to some act, it's deer hunting, there's a lot of reasons they don't want that. So they're looking for an alternative. So I did say the only other alternative we had was 5 miles north and south on M53 to get the buggies off the road, because the shoulder is pretty impervious. But anyway, that is the context today. I just wanted to bring you up to date. If you have any questions, it's sort of fell backwards a bit maybe, but we'll see where it goes. Representative Alexander is going to intervene with the contact he has. But so the frustration meter has gone up a notch, maybe?
A couple.
But anyway, any questions before we move on?
I can't understand why they don't want representative there. That makes no sense. That's his area.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Sort of.
Well, I'm going to go.
We're sending you.
If they have to kick me out, they'll have to kick me out. But I'm going to go.
All right, so that's the latest. I'm sorry it took a little too long. We're going to move, if there's no other questions, we're going to correspondence resolutions. Any thoughts there? I noticed the first one was on data centers. Do you have any we need to worry about? Ian?
It's a hot topic. If you'd like me to present on that, I will prepare something.
That was sort of preemptive to see if there's one down the street they're proposing. What are your thoughts? You would like any more information on data centers in the future?
I would.
As far as a resolution.
As far as the
Oh,
resolution.
no, not as far as a resolution,
Oh.
just as a topic because of the uniqueness, and as Ian said, it's a pretty hot topic.
Yeah. Sure. Be interested.
All right. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All
You have
right.
a 10-minute limit.
I'll get some magazines.
Okay, thanks.
Handouts will be thick. I can see it coming. All right. Any other on the resolutions? All right, let's move on. Chairman Vaughn is not here. Commissioner Barrios, anything to update?
Yes, I've got a group of things here. I just wanted to let you know, I attended the DHHS, Tuscola County Medical Care Facility meetings in between our last meetings. Karen Southgate announced her retirement May 8th, effective May 8th. She's had 37 years with the state. We talked about the DHHS and look here, moving to the Rite Aid building and having some difficulty with their communications. At the December meeting, it was announced that their staff would be meeting with Sheriff Robinson and Judge Amy Gerhart regarding how to address an emerging problem in the foster care programs. And I see Sheriff is gone, but there's some problems that are coming out in the foster care program with children being left, just left. And how do you address that and what are the legal ramifications for it? So there was a meeting they held. I did not get to that meeting, but I know it was held because of the concerns. Tuscola County Medical Care Facility, a new chairperson was elected at the December meeting. Elisa Bolton, co-pastor of Ellington Church of the Nazarene in Ellington Township, replaced Mark Wolf, who was the previous chairperson. Tuscola County Medical Care Facility, as recently as a couple days ago, still had an ad for hiring first shift nurses. They had a blood drive on January 7th, and they're projecting a $1.4 million increase in their net position this year, which is a significant increase. Saginaw Bay Coastal Initiative Area of Concern Group did not meet in December. Our meeting is tonight. Michigan Association of Counties, a couple of interesting things that came up in that meeting that I attended the Zoom meeting. Sanilac County Commissioner said that there's a new wind farm going up in southwest Sanilac County. And a commissioner, and I think it was Ogama. It was Ogama or Ottawa. I don't remember which one for sure. I didn't take shorthand. Reported that there's a large overhead electrical wire project with 350 and 750 MCM wires intended to ramp up data centers locally.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, and so she said that, you hear about the data centers, but you don't hear about the infrastructure that's going in to support those data centers. And that goes through residential areas and areas where it's going to impact a lot of communities and people's properties. And that was her point of view on the whole thing is it's cutting through residential areas. There's a concern it will negatively impact property values. And they're trying to help residents. So all the residents, not just the ones that are immediately bounding the data centers, are informed and can help get involved in that discussion. And Jimmy Johnson said that he's going to send out notes on our Zoom meetings going forward. Great Start Collaborative, Children's Special Health Services Camp scholarships are open. You can get information on the Great Start website. They're giving out 10 $500 scholarships for students. It's available on a first come, first serve basis. Tom Lounsbury is competing in the annual Bronner's Hot Shot charity event in Frankenmuth on February 6th, and he competes for Tuscola Imagination Library. For every person that goes to watch him perform, he gets 5 extra points on his first shooting score. I think last year he came in second, so we're hoping more people that go, the better. The Road Commission, I would just like to say regarding the Road Commission, I've heard a couple of comments about how the Road Commission was very rude to me and disrespectful. And I would just like to say, I have been treated respectfully. I have 5 brothers, or if I have 7 brothers, excuse me, 5 are currently living. Grew up with 7 brothers, and I worked in a gray iron foundry. And when it comes to disrespectful, I know what disrespectful can be. I have been called every word in the book. I have had coffee thrown at me. I have had bad words said to me, so I know what disrespectful is. But I also know that when you have 2 differing points of view, and that's where we're at, we have a very different point of view. We believe that there's a responsibility for reporting back to us, and apparently that is not shared as much as we would like it to be shared. But I've been treated respectfully, and when I find that I'm not treated respectfully, I'll come back and let everybody know that that's the case. As I mentioned before, Jack Lowry stepped down as chairman for his last year, which is ending in 2026, and Julie Matuzak has taken over the position as chairwoman. We talked about the focus group. Julie was going to meet with the fire department group on Tuesday and was ill, so she wasn't able to go to that meeting. I attended Village of Akron Christmas cookie decorating contest, the Road Commission reorganizational meeting. I met with Brett Dankert from the Road Commission on January 6th for an hour and a half. Attended Indian Fields meeting on their Boy Scout Road project with Brent Dankert. I attended Gagetown Village meeting and the Guilford Township meeting. And one of the things that was brought up at Guilford Township as well as Elkland Township, and I'm sorry to bring this up again, but it's the ambulance situation where there are certain communities that are paying for ambulance services, a per resident fee, and there are other communities who are not. And that disproportionate representation and concern came up in both Cassidy and in Guilford Township both. So I want to bring that to your attention again today, because that is something that eventually, if something doesn't come of it, people get disgusted and decide they're not going to stand up anymore. It might roll itself back up into the county. And in the 2026 community project funding grants from Representative Lisa McLean's office should be coming out shortly. When we met with her staff, she said that they said they were going to be sending them out shortly. So that's something that'll be coming out. That's it for me.
Thank you. I'll do mine briefly. Behavioral health, the most important thing there is the PIHP decision in the courts was resolved with the judge deciding that there'll be local control versus having the state or regions taken over. So that is a very good news for the locals here. Very contested case, but anyway, the good news is TBS remains local and all the services. DDA met yesterday, nothing really to report, but I know from the discussion that Main Street has not been really affected lately, like cascade improvements. Apparently no one is really interested in that type of activity, usually grants, but there's a paying match. The other thing that I'll say that is that NACO today, National Organization of Rural Counties, meets today. That's RAC later on. So that's my report. Moving on, we go to Commissioner Hoots.
Yesterday, I attended the HDC meeting, and as this board knows, we did the chill grant and all the paperwork. I know the front office jumped through hoops to get that done. Thank you very much. And we are fixing windows and roofs, and I had put a poster out there in the hallway yesterday. They've been able to help a lot of Tuscola County residents. They still have a lot of money left, so if you have these issues, you need to get a hold of HDC and see if they can help you with that situation. Other than that, that's all I have, sir.
Thank you, Commissioner Lewis and Commissioner Cook.
Nothing to add, sir.
Thank you for that. Any other business as necessary? I have one quick one, and I did try to text Sheriff Robinson, who left. He's probably on the phone or something, but I just wanted to accolade for the board, and he's on the front page of today's paper. He served a year, and I just wanted to say from the board's perspective, at least mine, he has far surpassed the attendance of any other sheriff other than, well, I'll just leave it at that. Sheriff Kern was here a lot, even more when he was a commission. But just wanted to say from the board, if the board agrees, appreciation for all that he's doing and his involvement.
That was a good article.
Always here. It was very much of an accolade. I just wanted us to recognize that, but I'm sure he'll hear about it. So that's all I had with other business. Is there any extended public comment? Any extended public comment? Yes, ma'am.
Joanna Samuelson, City of Caro. I'd like to add something to Mr. Lee's report that he's going to do on the data centers. Can you include a portion in there that might have an impact on public health with the power lines and the extra stuff going through with the negative repercussions of that in our environment?
That will be part of it.
Thank you. That's it.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your comment. Anyone else?
Chairman or Vice Chair, if I may. I would like to discuss the marketing committee, Sheriff Robinson, and I believe Commissioner Barrios referenced that there is a focus group or a committee being established about actionable items they can do to help prevent distracted driving. That is not what I was discussing. I was just discussing only a marketing campaign, a visual for get the word out that we need to pay more attention. Not something that is an actual item for the sheriff, for road patrol, for the road commission. This is only pure marketing. Of course, if they come up with ideas that they would like us to market, we're happy to do that. But this is not the actionable items as to how to prevent driving distracted. This is only a mere drive safe campaign. So I just wanted to make that clear. I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes or take action that is outside of my scope.
Well, thank you for that clarity. Anything else?
Just Vice Chair, there was another accident on Hurds Corner and Bevins Road yesterday.
Is there any further news on that? I knew that happened, but I wasn't sure what.
Steve, do you know anything?
No.
Sure, I heard somebody, or I saw somebody posted that there was ice at the intersections. I don't know if that impacted the situation or not. The roads were bad yesterday. I was supposed to go to Peck with a member from Unionville. Then we got up halfway to Sandusky and turned around and back. The roads were nasty.
I don't know much about it. I've been asked several times, but any other extended public comment? Yes, Greg?
Greg Campbell, Ellington Township. I'm glad to hear that Commissioner Barrios was not offended, or I guess I interpreted it differently. I'm glad she's good with it. I'd like to thank this board for what I consider a positive movement in resolving our issues, our safety issues in these intersections. And I'm sure the word will be out. It won't go unnoticed that you are actively trying to save lives and injuries. And it's appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Greg. Anyone else? Anyone else? I'll just note before we move on, the sheriff did text back and said he wished he could be here, but he had to go to his office and
Work.
Yeah.
Had to go back to his office and work.
Yes. I think he works in the back row there too, but
Oh, I know.
anyway, I just wanted to let you know he did respond immediately, almost. Commissioner Cook didn't wait till tomorrow. All right, and if there's no further extended comment, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner Cook, supported by Commissioner Lutz to adjourn. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, we now stand adjourned. In just a moment, we'll move into statutory finance. We'll let everyone leave who'd like to. Thank you. 10-minute pause.
Yeah.
We are in recess.
So Monday, so one thing that I
Thank you, everyone. We just came back from recess of our board meeting. We're going to be going into our statutory finance meeting here. I'll call that to order at 10:20, so to speak. And we'll have a roll call by Clerk Fischler.
Commissioner Barrios? Here. Commissioner Bardwell?
Here.
Commissioner Vaughn? Commissioner Lutz?
Here.
Commissioner Cook?
Here.
We have a quorum, you may proceed.
All right, thank you. First item is action on previous meeting minutes of the December 22nd meeting. Is there any corrections or is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion on the previous meeting minutes of the statutory finance, December 22nd, 2025. Support.
Moved by Commissioner Lutz, supported by Commissioner Cook to approve the statutory finance meetings of December 22nd of 2025. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. These meeting minutes are approved. Now we'll move to new business, review and approval of finance reports and checks. Is there any discussion related to the financial reports and checks? And if not, let us entertain a motion.
Vice Chair, I make a motion to review and approval of finance report and checks 1/15/2026 financial docket.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner Cook and supported by Commissioner Lutz to approve the financial report and checks as provided on 1/15/26 on financial docket. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none. Financial report and checks are approved as well. And the second item is review and approval of the daily report and checks.
Vice Chair, I review and approve the daily reports and checks on 1/15/2026 daily docket.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner Lewis, supported by Commissioner Barrios to approve the daily report and checks of 1/15/26 daily docket. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, daily report and checks have been approved as well. There are no per diem reports to review today, and there is no old business. Is there any public comment on statutory finance?
You didn't have anything better to do? You didn't have anything better to do? I'm just kidding.
Seeing or hearing no public comment on statutory finance, we'll move, the next item is adjournment. Is a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support it.
Moved by Commissioner Lewis, supported by Commissioner Cook to adjourn the statutory finance meeting at about 10:25. I don't know, 10:20. Didn't I start this meeting at 10:20? Okay,
10:22.
all right, 10:22. Thank you. We are now, that's the motion. Is all those in favor?
Kudos for today.
Yeah.
You did
Yeah, that
awesome.
was.
Absolutely.
Getting that motion together.
We got a motion. All in favor? Aye.
Sorry. I thought we already did it.
All those opposed? Yeah, me too. All right, we are now adjourned. And absolutely, much kudos. Yeah.